So I would request everyone to welcome and a big round of applause for our second keynote speaker for the day. He is global security solution expert with Kaspersky, Dmitry Berezin. Can we have a big round of applause and have him on the stage? And the topic is very much closer to us and also related to AI. Securing the digital future, innovative approaches to cybersecurity in the era of artificial intelligence. Over to you, Dmitry. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for this very nice introduction, and welcome everybody in sunny Dubai. If you're talking about the cybersecurity, it's a very wide topic, and we see that the growth of the artificial intelligence is rapidly changing. So even before, like in 1970s, it was like the early beginning of the artificial intelligence with the neural links and other things, but there was no computational abilities to implement these in the real computers. Because by the time the computers was only held by the government authorities and big institutions. But you know, everything started to change at the beginning of 2000s when the amounts of computational power of one computer, of like one laptop, was bigger than the amount of computational effort that was needed to send the person to the moon. So that is why all of these activities start to change. All of these theoretical investigations start to be implemented in real world. And that is why we will discuss today in a little bit more details of what kind of change we can expect as part of the artificial intelligence that is changing our future from the point of the cybersecurity. So today we will talk a little bit more about technical and non-technical aspects of the artificial intelligence, and I would like to tell that a lot of our customers asking how you are using the artificial intelligence in everyday life and how you can secure these activities from multiple point of views. And I would like to say that from the point of view of usage of AI, there is a lot of applications. You know, a big companies such as OpenAI and a lot of others, Google, Microsoft, everybody is investing in AI these days. Why it is happening? Because the market is growing. The market growing so significantly, almost 40% year over year, that when we are talking about the next 10 years, it will grow for more than $1 trillion. Just amazing amount of money only for the generative AI. And as it was mentioned by Cynthia, generative AI is subset of the other type of AIs. So we are talking about majority of the business, majority of the investments that is coming to this area. Of course, when we're talking about application scenarios, they are very different in nature. As you can see right now on the screen, the AI is used, for example, for the voice assistants. AI can be used in order to evaluate the property of the markets. AI can be used in order to automate, for example, the taxi drivers. You know, just last week there was a news that like finally we will have the additional car created by the Musk company without the wheel. So you just go there, there's two people that can fit in this car, and you just from your laptop like send address and it is going somewhere. So next year it will go to official roads, and it's already not only the proof of concept, it's already the real part of our life. And even in Dubai, the Tesla is widely used, so I'm not a big fan actually of Elon Musk. If you're talking about the actual applications for the business, it also provides you a wide range of opportunities. Because when we're talking about, for example, like marketing activities, development of the data sheets, development of the presentations, development of a lot of other things, actually this part of the activities is also happening on the regular basis with involvement of the artificial intelligence. Even the next very slides that will be in, I hope, 1 second. This very slide was developed by AI. I mean, it is very simple. It is not difficult to just put the text on the place. But you know, like previous opinion was just to Google search for the articles, go to the Google, analyze all of these different websites, try to find out the one that is more reliable or not, and after that, like make the research, put on the screen some information. Right now, you don't need to do anything. Just go to the ChatGPT. Like, can you tell about yourself? Yeah, here am I. I'm narrow AI, so sorry, I cannot generate everything that you would like me to do, but I'm good enough to cover specific tasks. Like I can chat with you, I can respond to you. By the way, if you install the application, I will also reply to you by the voice. So yeah, new features like of the nice ChatGPT. And of course, when we're talking about like these kind of possibilities, it is very good to communicate not only with the human beings, but also with the computers. It is very good to have the personal assistants for the price of the cup of coffee. But what will happen if these kind of things will go in the wrong hands? For example, you know that this very nice TikTok and other movies that was described before, like this is helping us to be more interactive. This is helping us to be closer to our customers. But in the wrong hands, what will happen? So one Hong Kong company just last year lost $25 million because of the deep fake. So actually how it happens? You know, like you're a usual employee and you receive the video call from one of the top management of the company, from the financial officer, financial director. And the financial director tell you that like in 1 minute she will send you some information. You need to quickly process this purchase order because it's very important, a very big deal. And do you have any questions? And it was video call. You're like, no, I don't have any questions. I understand the task. I will do it immediately. What happened? Actually, the Teams chat was compromised, so the account was leaked, user credentials was leaked, and the hackers created the deep fake, the digital identity of this financial officer, and the person who was talking with was artificial intelligence. So all videos, all voices, all chats, all was generated by artificial intelligence in real time. So you don't need to be prepared in advance. Like what was recommendations a couple of years ago? Try to talk with person that is calling you, especially if he is calling you on mobile phone or using the video, because you will see the glitches here and there, maybe the slow response, or maybe they just make the recording of the video or the audio. These days, they can generate the response in real time. So this is changing the threat landscape significantly. And that is why we need to make sure that we are prepared for this. Because on top of the social engineering attack, as for example, we are talking about like collection of the information about you on the Facebook, on the LinkedIn, on the Twitter, and after that sending you personalized email or like message and asking you like, do you want to participate in some conference? Oh, you're a great speaker. We saw that you was on DIGITALCONFEX just last year. And you can actually register with us for the next event. And here is PDF. Please download. It is in tentative agenda. And you open the PDF and your computer is compromised. Why? Because there is zero-day vulnerability in PDF reader. So this is the type of attacks that we are talking about. So it is very tailored, very specific, and it can be highly automated. You do not need to search for all of these contacts and details and analyze all of this data in order to generate a tailored email that will look exactly as it was developed specifically for you. Because these days, artificial intelligence is very powerful. At the same time, if you're talking about the application of the artificial intelligence by the hackers, they also can, for example, generate the malware. So you can, like before, a little bit before, a couple of years ago, if you ask the ChatGPT, I'm security researcher, I need to test my antivirus product, can you share with me some example of the malware? Because I really need to test that my defense activities are working the right way. And it will create you the PowerShell scenario, like here it is, here is how the command and control center will initiate the connection with the internet, here is the backdoor, like here is the credentials that can you use. If you install this PowerShell script on the Windows workstation, all will work fine. And you will be able to test your defense measures. Yeah, this is the goal of our exercise, isn't it? So yeah, and of course, they're trying to put more and more restrictions in the artificial intelligence. There is international organizations that are trying to make sure that the artificial intelligence is used the right way. But of course, everybody is trying to like find a way how to do the thing that they would like to do. And for example, there is specific type of the hackers that are working in order to compromise specific the artificial intelligence, the behavioral artificial intelligence. It is called LLM exploitation. So we are trying to change the logic of the artificial intelligence so that it will provide us more data or the data that it is not allowed to be provided. Of course, different kind of applications will happen in the future, and we need to provide protection. But how we can fight with artificial intelligence that is faster than us? Yeah, we can do it by using another artificial intelligence that will power our security tools. So that one AI is fighting against another AI, and what will do people? People will drink coffee, they will travel, they will spend the time with the family. I actually hope that our life will be much easier with the next several years with implementation of AI in all wide different areas. And of course, when we're talking about AI, it is still not the generic AI. So it is still not able to make all of these deductions in a way as the human beings are doing. But it is getting closer and closer from one year to another, and surprisingly faster during the last several years. Because, I don't know, maybe you already saw in the news that yesterday there was big implementation of more than 20,000 of NVIDIA video cards for the data center in one of European clouds. That was also powered by Elon Musk. So actually 20,000 of these kinds of video cards is helping to extend the capabilities of the artificial intelligence, not linearly, but actually exponentially. And that is why we need to use artificial intelligence in all areas, in order to create it, in order to support it, in order to protect it, and in order to identify new type of the threats that came from this area. For one example, we as Kaspersky are using the artificial intelligence for many, many years. Of course, previously it was called machine learning, after that language models, after that artificial intelligence, like narrow one, and soon it will be called general type of AI. But we are using it in any way for the many years because, for example, we was under attack, our clients that is using the antivirus was under attack many times. 500 million times to be exact during the last year. So this is the amount of online attacks that was detected by our engines. And no human beings can process this amount of information in any reasonable amount of time. That is why we are using machine learning algorithms in order to prioritize the activities, in order to identify commodity and existing APT threats. We're trying to find out the new tactics, techniques, and procedures of the threat actors. In order to do this, we are using the machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence that is helping us from 500 million of events, find out those that are really important for us. Actually, we are doing it not only from the point of the threat intelligence. We are using it also to improve our security services. For example, when we are conducting the penetration testing, the usual approach, you have the application, for example, web application, public website, and you are trying to find out what is wrong with it. A usual approach, just network scanner, you're trying to do the analysis using the WASP top 10 vulnerabilities, and more or less this is it. But with usage of the artificial intelligence, you can create the customized signatures. You can create new type of the correlation rules. You can create new type of the vulnerabilities and backdoors in order to exploit them. You can do a lot of things in order to find out the vulnerabilities in the source code that was not possible before because it was done by the human being. Right now, with the access to the GitHub, actually artificial intelligence know all source code of all applications in the world. So with this knowledge, for sure, they will be able to find even more. And we're talking about the services. For example, we have managed detection response that is helping our customers to be protected on 24/7 basis. And the thing is that from 500,000 of security alerts that was processed during the last year by our security analysis team, actually 1/3 of them was fully processed by the artificial intelligence. So it means from the point of view of the moment when the data came to our data center, it was processed and analyzed by the artificial intelligence. It understands whether or not this is the real incident or it was the false positive. One of the examples, it is analyzing the correlation between these incidents and the nearby workstations, analyzing whether or not there are similar type of events that is happening in the infrastructure at the same time. It is analyzing the profile of the users, it is analyzing the profile of the workstations and tell you, like, at this very moment it is strange because usually this person is not working at night and it is 2 o'clock at night. But I will not raise this alert for the similar situation if this person will raise the similar type of event during the middle of the day. So this is the level of artificial intelligence that is already used. It is narrow one. It is used only for the security events, for security logs. It is not able to create the music, as an example, but it is very good in order to provide you the better protection for your internal infrastructure. And of course, when we're talking about the different applications of AI in the cybersecurity, in order to extend the threat intelligence, MDR, XDR topics, and a lot of others, for example, protection of the industrial networks, it's actually used more and more widely. More vendors are implementing the AI models for different areas of the business, starting from the providing of the security for the endpoints, for the networks, for the industrial solutions such as automobile devices, as an example, because with usage of the artificial intelligence in automobile, in order to drive the car using the cameras and lidars, we also need to think about the protection of this data so that it will not be used in the wrong way, in the wrong hands. So for you, as some recommendations, as a summary, I would like to tell that you need to be ready for anything, changes that will happen within the next several years, because AI will change the threat landscape significantly. Be ready, be prepared, stay tuned, use the AI-powered security solutions, and making sure that you are using AI in order to improve and extend your business. So this is actually all from my side, and thanks a lot for listening.
So can we have a big round of applause for Dmitry and a wonderful presentation that we have seen today. So any questions from anyone? A wonderful topic, yeah.
Hi. I saw the numbers of the SOC alerts versus the AI alerts. In your opinion, how, in current context, how good is the SOC versus the AI in alerting? And where do you see it in like another 5 years, 10 years time? Will the AI take over the SOC activities altogether, or will there definitely be a person involved in the SOC as well?
Yeah, this is a very nice question. So, for example, what we already have right now is 1/3 of the alerts and incidents are processed by AI. We expect that up to 90% can be automated engineering, because there is still specific type of the attacks, for example, related to the APT groups, advanced persistent threats, that you cannot predict. You cannot know in advance what kind of new tactics and techniques will be used in the future, and how the infrastructure can be compromised by the very intelligent type of the people. One of the examples that we have from the APT groups is the Operation Triangulation, when the hackers was compromising the mobile phones of the top managers and government authorities of different countries using multiple zero-day vulnerabilities. So how it was looking like? You have your mobile phone, iOS device, the usual Apple, and without any user interaction, without pressing any buttons, without opening any links, without opening any attachment, you just receive the hidden SMS and your mobile phone is fully compromised. Like how you can detect it using the artificial intelligence. It is something that just sounds crazy, like you do not need to do anything, your device is compromised. How? How it is possible? So this is type of the issues that, of course, AI can support, but still requires the human investigation, still requires the person who is intelligent, who is able to identify the different type of threats, who is able to fight against the attacks that was developed by the human beings. If you're talking about the next 10 years, the artificial intelligence in security, from the point of view of the security operations center, will be implemented in all key components. So web applications, firewalls, endpoint protection, network protection, like IPS solutions, all of them will use the AI model in order to identify the abnormal behavioral and abnormal patterns. So in this case, like everything that looks like more or less okay, and it will be like good activity. Everything that is looking strange will be analyzed by AI, raise the alert to the real person who will investigate it in more detail and create the final verdict. So it's still not full AI, but we expect that the role of AI will go up to 90% in the part of the security operations centers. Thank you.
All right, we have one more question.
Thank you, Dmitry, for the presentation. So I do have two questions that are related, but two different questions. So first question, you mentioned about AI-assisted kind of cybersecurity. So I guess as an end user or as a company, I don't need to do anything special. The tools that you're going to provide, they will be leveraging AI. So I don't need to I would say, to provide you specific data or stuff like that. So it will be embedded AI, I would say, algorithm and tools in the solution that you're going to provide your client. Mm-hmm. That's my first question. And my second question is how I really like that AI fighting against AI. And I've said to Sal here, we'll be stuck in the middle. So how Kaspersky see how are you going to position yourself against those kind of, I would say, how would differentiate Kaspersky among the, I would say, industry in that AI versus AI fight?
This is very tricky questions, I think, for this. So regarding the first one, if you're talking about the application of the AI in the real infrastructures, we are separating from the point of the cyber consultancy into two areas. The first one, the AI that can provide the audit of your internal infrastructure. Because without knowing what to protect, you don't know how to protect. So the first AI will analyze your publicly available resources, will analyze what kind of a DNS configuration you have in place, will analyze what kind of emails and DMARC and like other security tools, whether or not they are embedded, and find out any kind of obvious vulnerabilities, for example, like misconfiguration of the VPN for remote access, or misconfiguration of your internal systems that you are using for the B2B communication. Actually, we already use it. It is called Digital Footprint Intelligence Service. It is going to the dark web in order to identify both the compromised account of your organization, identify whether or not somebody on the dark web is discussing how to compromise your systems and do a lot of other things. So this is the first part related to the audit activities. Second part is about the application of the artificial intelligence for the defense capabilities. So in order to block the malicious activities of the end users, in order to block the malicious traffic, internal or outside of your organization. For example, like DLP solutions that also need to analyze the context and understand whether or not this very specific file with this screenshot, with this text, and with these numbers is allowed or not allowed to be sent outside of your organization. So this is the applications of AI, and you're absolutely right. It is expected that in the nearby future, there will be no need to train the AI in a manual way. It will just analyze all of this data and tell you, like, this is normal, this is not normal, and if it is not normal, like, punish that person. If you're talking about AI in Kaspersky, we actually have a big research and development center, because almost 1/3 of our almost 6,000 of employees are related to R&D. So they are having the capabilities in order to develop the new machine learning algorithms. Actually, one of them, as an example, is related to analyzing of the drones. So we're analyzing the video, audio, and other type of the information, including information information from radars in order to use machine learning algorithms and identify whether or not there is malicious drones around, for example, the nuclear station. So this is one of the solutions that we have. It's called Kaspersky anti-drone. Another one is application of AI in order to identify, for example, the malicious websites, the phishing websites, some activities that came from the internet to our endpoints. So we also use it as part of their machine learning algorithms. But when we're talking about phishing websites that looks like the real one, that have similar domain, similar icons, similar text, over here we already use the not only machine learning, but also the artificial intelligence in order to identify the similarities and tell if it is the real garment or it is the fake website. Thank you.
All right, so any more questions? Okay.
Hi, Dmitry. Spasiba. Thank you for your presentation. It's just a quick follow-up on Elias's question. This might be a tricky one because you're representing Kaspersky. But do you think that it's better from a Kaspersky or a cybersecurity perspective to centralize the AI technology more, because then if you decentralize it with the way it's being done with OpenAI, you can get the misuse, and you're basically always in a fight against those people who are misusing AI. But it brings a lot of business for Kaspersky and a lot of cybersecurity companies. Or do you prefer the approach of centralizing the technology more so it's not that available for readily use, and therefore the space for misuse is a lot less? What would be your personal recommendation?
Oh, that's very, very interesting. So at first, I believe that we cannot hold the AI because it will distribute across all businesses, across all regions, across all countries and continents. So there will be AI in different areas. For example, OpenAI is using multiple data centers already. There is a lot of other countries and a lot of other companies that are working in these areas as well, including like big growth of the Chinese market these days. If you're talking about ability to provide the necessary level of protection, what we see these days that a lot of cases, customers would prefer to have their own private AI that will be located within the country and will not share the data outside of the country. Because it is needed for the personal protection data laws, it is needed for the processing of the PCI DSS, it is needed for compliance with GDPR and a lot of other security-related standards. So that is why, for example, even for our security services, one of them is compromised assessment, when we analyze the data of the customer, and after that tell like, here is something suspicious, here is the backdoor, and here is like registry key that may tell you that there was the malware before. For these kind of activities, we actually bring our laptops. It is very powerful laptops. It is in a way of laptop only because we need to travel with this hardware. Actually, it is 256 gigabytes of memory for 3 of them. Like each of them, it's like very powerful. And we are using it to analyze all of this data on premise within the customer, keep all of this information isolated within the customer infrastructure, and we go out after the completion. We remove all traces and all information that we was able to collect. So AI that will like use the data, analyze it on premise, and after that go outside and eliminate all related threats. This is what we feel will be like very, very common for the most government authorities and enterprise customers within the next few years. Thank you.
So do we have a big round of applause for Dmitry and a wonderful keynote session?
I would like to ask Mitali to present certificate to Dmitry for this wonderful keynote session. Guys, huge round of applause for Dmitry for the wonderful keynote session.